What's up, guys? Brian back to talk about The Walking Dead and does killing Abraham make sense? We did a couple videos and the Spoiling Dead fans put some rumors, speculation, theories out that Abraham and Glenn are the ones that die. Doesn't make sense. Potential spoilers, if you don't want to know any more about that, stop watching. But let's look at this part right here. We got a link in the description of the interview that Kirkman did with a guy talking about this, and it goes like, basically, he was asked if he didn't like killing Abraham right before all that war, basically, from the comics. Kirkman responds, no, that's complete nonsense. Killing Denise at the time made more sense than killing Abraham at the time, on the show, of course. I don't regret Abraham's death. I may have commented in interviews that it was probably foolish for me to kill someone off that would have been so useful against Negan. It's just a matter of making sure that comic book fans that love the comics get a little bit of surprise when they watch the show too. So read that what you may, but when you watch it, definitely you'll see a feeling from him that he doesn't want Abraham in the war because he would be too useful, and it doesn't make sense for him to do that. So he kind of wants the strong guy, the war guy, the military guy to not be involved with it. I don't know why, but that seems to be coming to fruition again. He was killed right before the march to war and then war, and it's going to happen again on the show. It's highly likely what's going to happen. But so here's the video that we made there too. Check it out. It talks a little bit more in depth about the Spoiling Dead fans, and read that what you may. But basically it shows that and talks about Abraham and Glenn are the rumored to die in the season 7 premiere. So it looks like Abraham is actually the victim of it. So the Orange Crush theory seems to be legit on there too. If you don't know what that is, there's plenty of other videos that we made about that too. We'll read that in more in depth. But that's basically the Orange Crush theory in a nutshell. So Negan picks Abraham. Let's just hypothesize this. Negan picks Abraham, and they die. In the comics, he picks Glenn, and Glenn is buried at the hilltop. And there's his grave with Maggie looking on. So I guess that's what they're going to go. And I initially thought that it was just going to be Glenn. And it still could. You know, these are just rumors, nothing yet. The show didn't come out yet. So figured that Glenn's going to be gone. Maggie goes back to the hilltop, and going forward, she becomes leader of the hilltop. But let's look at this, the point of view in the lineup. There's a couple different angles here. So look at this one. You'll see the bat, and here's a different one with the RV in there too. We'll show it again. But just look to the left. You see the RV in a different angle, a different point of view. It's not there. So is it two different people? I'm guessing, right? It looks to be two different people that he's pointing to. Now, there it is again with that. So this is the one I want to highlight again there too, because we watched the season 6 episode 16 finale, and this looks like to be Abraham, the angle with the RV in it, for a couple different reasons, but we'll talk about that in a second. But so I don't know, here you kind of thought the posturing thing when he stood up and Negan kind of gave him that look, like, oh, so I guess that was the look, like, I'm going to fucking kill you. So the ginger is going to get the bat. I guess the point of view theory is shit. That's just dumb, because if Abraham is actually picked to be the victim, then what sense of that? But still, Glenn could be the victim and stuff could interfere. Again, these aren't 100% positive. I don't care what anyone says. Until we see the episode, there's still a chance that it may or may not happen, what people could think. But I think Glenn is going to die, and they say that Abraham's going to die with the spoilers and everything there, and they're pretty confident in it. So either way, Abraham and Glenn seems to be the victims and die, but Abraham is the one that is picked for some freaking reason. But I'm going to miss Abraham. I'm kind of pissed that Abraham's going to die. It doesn't really make sense for me for him to get killed, but I guess the whole Sasha and Abraham thing, that won't ever happen. So why'd they even do that? Why was Abraham even kept alive for the thing going forward there too? I guess Sasha's going to have to be the shooter and the military person somewhat. I mean, I know she was a firefighter before all this, but we'll see what happens there too. So for them to just bring him into the lineup and then die in the lineup in episode 14 when Denise died, I feel like he almost should have died there too. And he still could get an arrow by Dwight, but let's look at the lineup there. So I'm sure you've seen this pictures 1,000 times, but there's Abraham in red all over there too, between Michonne and Maggie. He's kind of towards the middle of that arc, but you see a little angle that would be pointing towards the RV for it there too. So, and that doesn't really mean anything, just a point of reference. So from that picture where he comes to the bat there, it looks like he's kind of at that angle, if that's Abraham. So we'll put it in a second, but just picture that line when you're looking at it there too. So that's the angle that I kind of see there too, and it happens very fast. This is the only one, that point of view, that happens in the lineup when the eeny, meeny, miny, mo is. You have to watch it and you'll see it. But he's to the right of Maggie, so you got Sasha on the left, then Rick, then Maggie, and then Abraham. So it would kind of be a good spot for the angle for Negan's bat there too. But this is the only time this angle never comes up. So why would it be that big of a deal to do it? But it's the only thing we could think of that shows that it's Abraham, besides the posturing, and there's the angle again, of course. But so you got the posturing, you got that angle on there too. And then if you look in the background, behind Abraham is Dwight. He's pretty much right behind him and Michonne on there. I guess he's kind of off to Daryl a little bit too, but he still could get the arrow in the head and the bolt there. He still could get that comic book death. But, you know, they're saying no stabbing, no this, no that it looks to be 2 Lucille victims. So I don't know. These are just the rumors, speculation, whatever you want to call it, going on there too. But in the comics, he's buried in Alexandria, but I don't think that's going to happen now, because who's going to bring him back? And who's going to carry these bodies in the RV to die at the hilltop? So that was Eugene looking on in his grave. And I guess it was a big deal that he hugged Eugene, you know, and said goodbye. And Eugene rode into the sunset, to get captured ultimately by that. So, but Abraham, if he dies, mother dicking riot and a vast sea of shit, that's for sure. Like, share, subscribe, let us know, guys. And as always, thank you for the support.